I'm feeling weird about talking to the camera while I'm doing this because I feel like I'm using my phone in place of like what I would hope would be a human being. But yeah. But I guess that's the whole point anyways. Yeah, whatever. My middle son has been kind of bumming me out, and then I got a text from my mom saying like, emergency alert, Joshua is on the phone with a girl in the like alone in the room, and I don't know how you feel about this, because it was like 11 o'clock, and I was like, okay, so that's I've been trying to think of ways that him and I can spend time together, because it's not really possible when we're here, because I'm always busy with the girls. And so yeah. Yeah, so I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, okay, yeah, so I've been trying to find ways for him and I to like hang out, and like things that him and I can like bond over. And I mentioned to him, and I was like, oh, it was because Adam was going to the island for a hockey tournament, and I knew that his dad was taking him, so I was like, I guess you're here with me this weekend, eh? And he was like, yeah, I guess so. And then I was like, you know, I really wanted to take the girls to this restaurant, but you know, I need 2 people, like at least like somebody assigned to like a kid, so that, you know, they can run around. And when I said that, he was like, well, Mom, here's the thing, this is supposed to be my dad's weekend. And I was like, oh, okay, like, because I don't want to make him feel bad for not wanting to spend time with me and the girls, because like we're not fun, like it's not fun. Because like they're loud and like needy, and like they're kind of jerks to him because they're still learning like how to treat people, and like that's, my boys are kind of like who they've been learning on, and like it sucks, but it is what it is. I thought he would want to go out with me, but he has his stepbrother, like a kid that his dad's mom is dating. They're best friends. They're always on the phone when he's here. Like they're like always playing games. He's like laughing his ass off. Like it's so good to hear. And then whenever we're at hockey, they're hanging out together, and like they're really, really close, and like I love that. And he was like, well, it's, you know, I can't remember, I think it's Caden's weekend. And I was like, oh, well, you know, it's Riley's birthday and we're gonna have the family over. And he's like, oh, okay, well, I'll stay for that. I'll stay here tonight, and then if you could drive me home after that. And I was like, that's no problem at all. And then like there were still people here. Like my grandpa hadn't even left yet, and he was like, you know, Mom, do you think you could drive me over? And I was like, yeah, that's no problem. And like it breaks my heart. It kills me on the inside, but I can't ever let him know that, because it's just the age that he's at. He's a teenager, basically. Yeah. And that's like, I didn't want to be hanging out with my mom, and I definitely wouldn't have been wanting to hang out with like my mom taking care of little kids. Like that sucks. I miss him. That's in the summertime it's totally different, because he like loves camp, like loves camp. I got to teach him how to ride the quad, which was so much fun. Like he's always been my kid to do outdoorsy stuff with. He's always the first one to say yes, and I love that about him. That's him and my dad have always had like a bond, and I don't know if it's because he was like the 3rd child and my dad was the 3rd child. Like I don't know if that actually has anything to do with it, but it seemed like they bonded like right off the hop. And I love that for them. I just miss him because he was my little baby. He used to be like, you know, Mommy, will you marry me? I love you. Like every day. We used to practice trick-or-treating all the time. Like, knock, knock. I'd go, hello, and he'd go, trick-or-treat. He didn't have any of his front 4 teeth, because that's I don't know if it was my breast milk or what it was, because like I didn't breastfeed the other 2 kids as long as him, and he was 2 years old, and I was still, I breastfed till he was almost 2, and then I had to stop because his teeth. That's because he would fall asleep on the boob, like with it just like hanging out of his mouth. When And he could say like mama boo boo, like he was getting too old, and he had teeth, and yeah, it's not fun, but I'm glad I did it. He had to get like the 4 front ones pulled. They didn't know like until they had him asleep, and that was the worst thing ever. They had me hold him and get in the seat, and then they put the mask on him, and he just went like limp on me, and I was like, oh my god, like that was horrible. I had to like just like scooch out from underneath him, and they were in there for 5 minutes, and the nurse came out, and she was like, we're not gonna be able to save those front 4. And I was just like, oh my god. But I used it as like a learning opportunity for every chance that I could. Anytime we were at a park or like a McDonald's, kids would always be like, what happened to his teeth? And I'd be like, if you ever don't brush your teeth, that's what happens. Like, that's why it's so important to brush your teeth. Like, that's not what happened, but I still wanted to like help other parents get their kids to brush their teeth. But yeah, it's hard being a parent. It's hard, like all the ups and downs, because like you want good things for your kids. I cannot understand the people that like can't see their kids do better than them. Like that blows my mind. Like the whole goal is to see your kids do better than you. It's just crazy. Oh, but I've been taking that neuro gum or whatever that Joe Rogan was talking about. I was like, okay, like let's look into it. And I couldn't get the neuro gum. It was gonna be really expensive, but I got like these pills, and they're all natural, and they're made in Canada, and so far I find that they're like I'm not searching for words as much, which has been like really, really annoying me. So yeah, it's been good. I hope more people will try them, but like not to the point where they make the price of them like super expensive on Amazon or anything, because that was like